Just looking ahead to Toronto.
Drop your dot, you know I'm coming. Lace front fucked up. You should've wore your bunny.
To this point.
I don't watch much NBA. Sorry.
Running from me. Running from me.
Know how much?
I currently have more dunks than him right now.
Running from me.
Is that true?
Running.
Yeah, but he don't stay for real, but he just goes out and he don't want to play defense.
We're gonna get to that trap.
Picket TV, he calls LeBron James fans jockstrap sniffers. So this is for you guys. If you're watching, shout out to all the LeBron James jockstrap sniffers. This is for you.
Of all of the people that we talk about as LeBron fans are the only ones that even message me and contact me on Instagram. One recently sent me a death threat, talking about you can't come to LA. LeBron fans! Please don't tell me that was you saying the 96 signs. This is what you gotta realize, Judah. It's very easy to out-debate locker room. It's not very challenging whatsoever. The fact that you let locker room outwit you and out-debate you, it says a lot. We're not talking about a very high-level basketball mind, and you got outwitted by the locker room.
Let's bring it. I see a veteran up in here, man. MJ. Let's bring in my good friend, man. How you doing, brother? I know you got a lot to say about scam. I know you do,
man. That's his name, Dorman Scam. I'm gonna tell y'all the truth, bro. I hate to tell you. I'm gonna be honest with you, Dan.
Tell me, bro.
As a Laker, you guys gotta stop thinking of mediocre.
Pray to real live
The dude that y'all got on one channel, they say the players are trash on his one channel.
Mm-hmm.
He's talking about you right now, the locker room. He said all the players are trash.
It's my turn. It is you told me it was my turn. They should be embarrassed. It's a joke. Lakers fans, they should be embarrassed about that. They say they are like one of the greatest franchises of the NBA. They should be embarrassed. You think Boston Celtics, Denver, the Thunder, the Bucks gonna let someone like Austin run the offense?
And I'm trying to dive in, put some time
There's really
in.
channels dedicated to low basketball IQ that just like to shred guys like Austin Reaves. I never knew. Somebody pointed me in that direction. I couldn't even watch 5 seconds of it, bro. I lost brain cells just being there. There's some real Bron Glazers that just like to hate on everybody. They're looking really silly right now because, you know, they like to talk trash about me for giving Austin Reaves his obvious due props. Another 30 piece. What you got to say now, clown?
You broke up with your man and ain't been with nobody else.
Get these clowns off of my TV screen. Listen, I will never go back on that channel, not even for 5 seconds.
You like fuck these niggas, brother.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are back, folks. We are back, man. We are back. This is a topic that I was supposed to get to last night. I was supposed to get to this topic last night. Ended up just saying, you know what? I'm going to wait for tomorrow. I'm going to wait for tomorrow, and we'll just touch on this topic today. As you guys can see by the title of the show, we're going to be, exposing Austin Reaves some more. Him and his agent, they are trying to, scam the Lakers and the NBA out of hundreds of millions of dollars, folks. And, me personally, I can't just sit by. I can't sit back and just, allow this to happen. I got to do my part. And, I got to push my own narratives, man. These guys on, these other platforms, they're pushing their narratives. So I got to push mine. It is what it is. So, did a little bit of digging, folks. Obviously yesterday we touched on Luka Doncic. We did a series of lives yesterday where we touched on Luka Doncic. We really kind of broke the Luka Doncic situation down. Yesterday, we dug a little bit deeper, right? The rabbit hole with Luka, it gets very deep. And we were in a hole yesterday. We were in a rabbit hole yesterday just discussing Luka. And the funny thing is, right, folks, is I wake up today, believe it or not, and I see that the mayonnaise media, folks, believe it or not, they actually decided that they were going to basically react to the lives that I did yesterday. If you guys can believe that. I told you guys, folks, whether or not these people acknowledge that they're listening, just understand that they're always listening, right? They're always listening. Once again, I wake up today, I see Lakers Nation, right? They're posting, Trevor Lane posted a video talking about Luka and his shot chucking. Now, I want to show you guys this. I want to show you guys this, folks. So yesterday, we went live, right? And y'all do me a favor and drop a like on the video. Yesterday, we did a series of lives. We did 2 lives yesterday, exposing Luka Doncic, right? The first live we did, I titled the live, "Stunning Footage Proves LeBron James is Being Held Back by Luka Doncic." And then the next live we did, I said, "LeBron James keeps exposing Luka Doncic." So basically what I did is, I exposed Luka's shot selection. Even the day before that, during the game, we did a halftime show, and I said, breaking, Luka has the worst shot selection I've ever seen, right? So the last day or so, I've been kind of exposing Luka and his horrible shot selection. So then I get up today, hop on YouTube, and guess what I see, folks? I see Trevor Lane, he drops a video. He says, "Luka Doncic chucking, ? Okay, cool. Then I go on YouTube some more, do a little bit more digging, and then I see Jovan Buha, right? He does a video, Luka's recent play. He makes a video about Luka's recent play. Now, once again, if I would have never spoken on it, ladies and gentlemen, they would have just swept yesterday's, or what was that, Sunday's game? They would have swept Sunday's game under the rug as it pertains to Luka Doncic. They would have just swept it under the rug. They wouldn't have even discussed it. But because I discussed it, because I brought attention to it, right? Now here they come trying to discuss it, basically responding to the content that we put out over the last day or so ago, right? So once again, even when you think these people aren't listening, they're listening. Once again, they might not ever acknowledge that they're listening. They might not ever pop out in the chat, but just know they're listening. And the people that are working within the organization, folks, even some of the players, I've heard MJ say that Reaves even listens to the show. Folks, trust and believe. They're always listening, whether or not they acknowledge that they're listening. They're always listening. Okay, we got JJ. He says Trevor Lane is hip to who you are. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, y'all do me a favor and drop a like on the video. Shout out to everybody that's tuned in. We got JJ, we got Mac, we got Andy, Bruce. Okay, shout out to Max. Actually, never mind. I take my shout out back. I see you're in here trolling, Max. You got to stop this dude. You said how many games did they win without LeBron? I don't know, dude. Go look it up. Go look it up, dude. You said, dude, LeBron is a minus 160 on defense. Okay, we can get to LeBron, dude, but I'm focused on Reaves right now. We can get to LeBron though, but I'm focused on Reaves right now. Shout out to Constellar. What's going on, man? We got Bruce JG. What's going on, man? We got Eric Yahoo, LA Wide Awake. What's going on, man? We got Jay Dixon. He says it's time to trade Aston. Folks, we got to get the likes up, folks. We got to get the likes up. We got to get the likes up. Now, once again, let's just get to Jovan Buha, because I told you guys, right? They saw the content I put out yesterday. They know it was all facts. Everything that I said about Luka was all facts. So what did they have to do? They had to make their own content and kind of go against the narrative that I was pushing yesterday. So I want to get to Austin Reaves today, but I want to show you guys this clip from Jovan Buha. Okay? I want to show you guys this clip from Jovan Buha. Now, let me just give you guys a little bit of a backstory on Jovan Buha and how I found out really about Jovan Buha. So a couple of years ago, at this point, right, December of like 2023, as you guys know, Darvin Ham, folks, he ended up benching D'Angelo Russell and Austin Reaves, right? And I remember we were covering it at the time, and I was clamoring for it. I kept saying they need to go to the bench. It's been documented. I've been on record saying this for years now, that D'Lo and Reaves should have been coming off the bench and not in the starting lineup. Around that time, I started noticing on social media and, just listening to the post-game press conference that there was this guy that was always like coming to the defense of Austin Reaves, right? He was always coming to the defense of Austin Reaves. This guy happened to be Jovan Buha. This is how he got on my radar. He got on my radar from defending Austin Reaves a couple of years ago. So he's been doing this for years now, folks. I personally don't believe the guy knows basketball. He claims that he covers the Lakers. I do see him at the facility. Folks, anybody can cover the NBA these days. With all due respect, if Jovan Buha can cover the NBA, that means that anybody can cover the NBA, right? It takes no sort of talent or anything. I mean, I listened to the dude's take this morning. I mean, it's some of the, like, and I say this respectfully, Jovan, because I know you and Trevor are listening. You dudes have some of the goofiest takes I've ever heard. Shout out to F you mean. And I say that respectfully. You and Trevor Lane have some of the goofiest takes that I've ever heard. Right? Now, once again, since we know that we have you guys' attention, let's just go ahead, ladies and gentlemen, let's react to what Jovan Buha said on his show, right? This is in response to the lives that I did yesterday about Luka Doncic, but they also did speak about, Jovan did. He also did speak about Austin Reaves. Now, I want you guys to listen to this take, folks, about Austin Reaves. I want you to pay attention to this take that he had. It was probably the goofiest Austin Reaves take I've heard in a while. And that's saying a lot because I hear a lot of goofy Austin Reaves takes. Take a listen to this.
And really grew to enjoy the city. Lath says, besides it being unrealistic, how much would moving AR to the bench and getting someone like Drew Holiday help the Lakers go to the next level? I actually think if you got Drew Holiday, you could keep Austin in the starting group, have Drew Holiday be the fifth guy, and
run it from me. Run it from me. Run it from me.
Shut your bitch ass up.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry, folks, but I have to pause it already. I wish I could have just let it play. I got to pause it already because he's already trolling. Right? So what happens, folks? Somebody sends in a question on his live stream, right? It's a very fair question, as you guys can see at the bottom of the screen. It's a fair question. It says, besides it being unrealistic, how much moving AR to the bench and getting someone like Drew Holiday will help the Lakers go to the next level, right? Somebody asked a hypothetical yet fair question about Austin Reaves going to the bench and potentially getting Drew Holiday or somebody of that caliber, right? The first thing he does, and once again, you have to pay attention to the narrative. The first thing he does is completely reject the idea of Austin Reaves going to the bench. He completely rejected that idea. Folks, why would he completely reject that idea? I'm asking you guys because I truly don't know. So I'm asking y'all, right? Why would he reject that idea so fast? You notice how when you even mention the thought of benching Austin Reaves to the mayonnaise media, they quickly just shoot it down without even like considering the possibility of him going to the bench. Now, we've broken it down 1,000 times, right? Why Austin Reaves needs to go to the bench. We've broken this down for years now. These people still want to act dumb. They still want to act clueless, right? Like they don't know why this is even a conversation. That's how they act when the topic of benching Austin Reaves gets brought up. They act like they don't even understand why people even are thinking this. We've been witnessing this for the last 3 years now. Since Austin Reaves became a prominent member of the Lakers back in 2023. We can't win a playoff series. Do you guys understand? I don't know if Jovan understands this, right? Like I said, he claims he covers the Lakers, right? But I don't know what he's watching. Jovan Buha, do you understand, guy? You claim you cover the Lakers. I don't know what you're watching. Maybe you're covering the South Bay Lakers. I don't know. You claim you cover the Lakers. Jovan, do you understand that the Lakers haven't won a playoff series in nearly 3 years? Does he understand this, folks? This is why I say, covering the NBA in 2025, it's a clown show. Anybody can do it. Anybody can do it. They're letting Jovan Buha do it. It's a clown show. So once again, Jovan Buha, you claim you cover the NBA, you claim you cover the Lakers. Do you not realize that the Lakers have not won a playoff series in literally 3 years coming up in 2026? By the time the playoffs start, it would have been 3 whole years since the Lakers won a playoff series. But he's acting like, oh, well, why would we bench Austin? Because since he became a prominent member of the Lakers, since he became a starter, like the graphic says, we can't win a playoff series. Now, obviously, there are other reasons, folks. Defensively, he's a cone. Offensively, he's not that good. He's been relying on free throws this season. He's taking more shots than LeBron James, right? There's a lot of reasons why people are pointing out this fraudulent season that he's been having. There's a reason why. Do these people think that we're dumb? They're acting like we don't remember that LeBron sat out the first month and a half of the season. You do realize, Jovan, the only reason Reaves is having this career season is because LeBron James was dealing with sciatica. Does he understand this, folks? LeBron is just now getting his legs back. He's just now, over the last week or so, looking like the LeBron James that we've grown accustomed to watching. But no, they want to act like, oh no, Reaves is just this great player who's just having this unbelievable run. The only reason his scoring has went up from last season is because 25 points from the Lakers was missing. And that was LeBron James. So obviously, Reaves' production went up a little bit. Luka's production has went up a little bit. Duh. Now let's continue on.
Jrue Holiday helped the Lakers go to the next level. I actually think if you got Jrue Holiday, you could keep Austin in the starting group, have Jrue Holiday be the 5th guy, and he's better defending ones and twos than he is threes, but I think there are a lot of threes, especially with teams playing a bit smaller on the perimeter sometimes, that he can defend. So he can be that 1 through 3 guy that basically is an upgraded version of a Marcus Smart, simply from a defense perspective, right? I don't want to, like, Holiday's at a different level than Marcus on both sides of the ball, but I think they're relatively close on defense. Like, I would give Holiday the edge, and of course, like, peak, I think at their peaks I'd still pick Holiday defensively, but peak Marcus obviously won a defensive player of the year. But I mean, you could go that route. I I think the one thing that I want to continue to get across is like, regardless of, I don't think Austin should come off the bench, but regardless of my own opinion, even if we put that to the side, the reality of the situation is that Austin is not going to come off the bench. The Lakers view him as a future franchise cornerstone alongside Luka. They view him as a max or near max player that they.
Okay, so let me stop it right here, folks. Right? Let me stop it right here. So he says, let me put my own biases to the side. I don't believe Austin should come off the bench, but let me put that to the side. He says the reality is Austin isn't going to come off the bench. And then he says the Lakers view Austin as a cornerstone piece alongside Luka Doncic. You want to know what this dude's problem is, folks? And y'all do me a favor and drop a like on the video. You want to know what his problem is? He still thinks Jeannie Buss and Rob Pelinka run the team. Let me say that again. This dude thinks that Jeannie Buss and Rob Pelinka still run the Lakers. Hey, Jovan, I don't know if you remember, dude. Over the summer, the Lakers sold the team to Mark Walter. I don't know if you remember that, bro. I don't know if you remember that the Buss brothers, they got fired, bro. So what does that mean, folks? That means Rob Pelinka, he's on borrowed time, ladies and gentlemen. He's on borrowed time. If Rob Pelinka don't put together a championship roster this season, he's going to be gone. He's going to be gone, folks. Rob Pelinka, listen, you guys can expect some major moves here soon. If you think this is going to be the same old Rob Pelinka that's going to sit with his hands on his ass and not make no moves like he did in 2024, if you think that's going to be the same Rob Pelinka, you're sadly mistaken. If Rob Pelinka don't improve this roster, how much you want to bet Rob Pelinka's going to get fired? He's going to get fired. This ain't Jeannie Buss running this team. This is Mark Walter and his people running the team now. And they want to win. They don't care about the narratives that the old regime was pushing. See, Jovan, he's still thinking about the old regime and their BS narratives. The old regime, he's absolutely right, folks. If Jeannie Buss and Rob were still running this team, he'd be absolutely right about everything he'd be saying. He's right. They probably would make that fraud a franchise cornerstone. They probably would make that fraud a franchise cornerstone if Jeannie Buss and Rob were still running the team. But guess what, Jovan? Unfortunately, your worst nightmare is here, bro. Jeannie Buss and Rob don't run the team anymore. So these same narratives that you've been pushing for years now they're not going to work anymore under new management, under new ownership. So that's his problem. He's still thinking Rob and Jeannie are running the show, right? And it's a lie. They're not running the show anymore. They're not running the show anymore. We have a new owner. He's already cleaning house. Rob Pelinka's on borrowed time, folks. They don't care about Austin Reaves. He said this goes to show how much time the Lakers wasted of LeBron's career. Exactly. The Lakers want to maximize this season, folks. They have LeBron James and they have Luka Doncic. They want to maximize this season. See, all that talk of Rob Pelinka waiting till 2027 to get Luka a superstar. Remember that? That was like the conversation earlier in the summer. We were hearing those reports. oh, Rob Pelinka wants to build around Luka. Remember after the season was over, they went and took a meeting. Rob Pelinka and Luka and JJ Redick, they went out for dinner at some restaurant in LA. That was before they sold the team. Now the team has been sold, so you can throw all of that BS out the window now. It's a completely different group running this show. They want to win. They don't care about making sure Reaves gets a $100 million contract. That's what the old regime cared about. Y'all cared about making that fraud a superstar. The new regime don't care about any of that. We got Jay Dixon. He says, I keep telling folks that Magic is secretly working with Mark Walter to get him fired. It'll be well worth it to see Magic get his payback on Pelinka. Exactly.
Not going to come off the bench. The Lakers view him as a future franchise cornerstone alongside Luka. They view him as a max or near max player that they want to re-sign this summer. And you do not. There's a lot of elements that go into it, but sending that guy to the bench, I think would have some ramifications that would not be good for the Lakers ultimately.
I'm sorry, folks. I got to stop it real quick. So he just said that sending Austin Reaves to the bench would have ramifications. What ramifications are we speaking of about, ladies and gentlemen? What ramifications, folks? I'm asking you guys, because I don't know what he's talking about, honestly. Like, these dudes, they literally get behind the camera and just start making stuff up. What ramifications, folks? What is he talking about? I'm asking y'all. I want y'all to tell me, because I don't know what he's talking about. So I'm going to open it up to the chat. What ramifications would the Lakers face by benching Austin Reaves? What is he talking about? I'm asking you guys. I don't know. Constellar said he's a sick dude. Exactly, go James. Ramification. What ramifications, folks? Like I said, if he's allowed to cover the Lakers, anybody can do that job. Anybody can do that job, folks. This is a joke, man. This is literally a joke. What ramifications, Jovan, are you referring to? Can you be specific? Can you be specific? What ramifications would the Lakers face by benching Reaves? He said his fanboy. He said the ramifications is what he did to Darvin Ham, slander of Redick. Exactly. Basically, see, Mac, you get it. You understand his game plan and what he would do. I'm with you 1,000%. That's exactly what he'd do. He probably wouldn't do it to the extent that he did it with Darvin, because we all know Darvin's black. So he probably wouldn't go as hard with Darvin as he would with JJ. I think with JJ, he'd be a lot more respectful. But I agree with you 1,000%. He'll start, they'll start questioning JJ. Jonathan said, this is disgusting work. He said slander from the Mayo. He said slander from the Mayo Avengers. Exactly. What are we talking about? What slander? What ramifications, Jovan? You're just making stuff up as you go, dude. You're just making stuff up. This is insane to me, bro.
There's a lot of elements that go into it, but sending that guy to the bench, I think would have some ramifications that would not be good for the Lakers ultimately. And we can debate whether that's fair or not, but when you have a player in a contract year who is having a career year and who is setting himself up for a nice payday, to try to diminish his value and move him to the bench, because let's just say they move him to the bench the rest of the year, I think what happens then is just Austin leaves this summer and goes and gets a bag from someone else and is the star or key starter somewhere else.
Head up, Chin up. Fuck that nigga. If we go to prison for the rest of our life, whoop-de-doo. We go to prison, nigga. Head up. Chin up. Fuck that nigga. If we go to prison for the rest of our life, whoop-de-doo. We go to prison, nigga. If we beat these folk, whoop-de-doo. We beat them.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me explain to you. Let me explain to you guys this, right? So, I want you guys to pay attention to two things when he's talking. You got to pay attention to two things. The first thing is that none of this has to do with the Lakers winning anything. You guys got to pay attention to that, right? Everything that he just stated about Austin Reaves, all of that only benefits Austin. He should just cover Austin at this point. There's the fact that he claims to cover the Lakers is a joke. You should just cover Austin. If that was the case, if he just came out and like, I'm just going to cover Austin, honestly, I'd take him a little bit more seriously. He's an Austin fan. He doesn't care about the Lakers and the ultimate goal, which is to win. Because everything that he stated has nothing to do with the Lakers and winning. It's all beneficial to Reaves, nobody else. So now he's talking about, oh, well, I don't think the Lakers should bench Austin Reaves. He's in a contract year. So, folks, what about all the other players that were in contract years? What about those guys? What about Lonnie Walker? He came to the Lakers on a 1-year deal. What about Lonnie Walker, Jovan? Wasn't he in the contract year? How many players came to the Lakers on 1-year deals, on a prove-it deal, in a contract year? Didn't Malik Monk come over here on a 1-year deal? Didn't Lonnie Walker come over here on a 1-year deal? How many guys came to the Lakers and was in the final year of their contract? Malik Beasley, D'Angelo Russell. These guys were in contract years, folks. Isn't Rui Hachimura in a contract year right now? Isn't Rui extension eligible right now? There's plenty of guys in contract years. This is the nature of the NBA. But now we supposed to we have to prioritize Reaves. For what? What has he done to even earn that? What has he done, Jovan? To where we need to prioritize Reaves. We prioritized him. Y'all clowns offered him a contract this past summer. They offered him a contract. He turned it down. Chat, they offered the man $90 million and he turned it down. So now we got to prioritize him again. He should have took the deal over the summer. Like I told y'all, I was stunned. I was absolutely stunned he didn't take that deal over the summer. I said, oh, this nigga's goofy. He's a goofball. He about to be the next Dennis Schroeder. And I told you guys over the summer, what did I say? I said he's about to Cheddar Bob himself. That's exactly what I said.
I do got a dumb friend named Cheddar Bob who shoots himself in his leg with his own gun. I did get jumped by all 6 of you chumps. I'm here. I do got a dumb friend named Cheddar Bob who shoots himself in his leg with his own gun. I did get jumped by all 6 of you chumps. I'm here.
Folks, I told you guys over the summer. I said, oh yeah, he about to Cheddar Bob himself. He about to shoot himself in his own leg, in his own foot. They acting like, this dude is acting like if the Lakers benched Austin Reaves, they would be doing him wrong. How are they doing him wrong? They gave the fraud $50 million after he got clapped in 2023. They then offered the fraud another $90 million this past summer. So how would the Lakers be doing him wrong by doing what's best for the Lakers? Oh, but listen, they can only do what's best for the Lakers as it pertains to black players, though, right? When they get rid of all these other guys that have came and went, when they get rid of all of them, right? When they get rid of Russ, when they get rid of D'Lo, Lonnie Walker, Malik Beasley, when they get rid of all these other guys, Malik Monk, all the guys that have came and went, when they got rid of them and they prioritized the Lakers, that was okay. But now if they do it with Austin Reaves, that would be an issue?
And who is setting himself up for a nice payday to try to diminish his value and move him to the bench. Because let's just say they move him to the bench the rest of the year, I think what happens then is just Austin leaves this summer and goes and gets a bag from someone else and is the star or key starter somewhere else.
If we beat these folks,
and it's
what
just
they do?
like,
We beat them.
What was the point of this? So I'm not saying like that should be the way that they operate in terms of their decision making necessarily, but I also think again that it worked last night, and I think there is something to staggering the big three, but I think at the highest levels against the OKCs and the Denvers and the Houstons, the Lakers are really going to need Austin, because right now LeBron is looking better and LeBron is looking more like himself. But the version we've seen from Austin this year versus LeBron offensively, there has been a gap there.
Folks, once again, man, like this is pathetic, bro. This is pathetic. Shout out to Anubis. Folks, so the dude just says, right? He's like, oh yeah, even though we beat Phoenix last night, I still think against the upper echelon teams, the Denvers, the OKCs, and the Houstons, he says we're going to need Austin Reaves. What are we going to need him for, dude? For what, specifically? What are we going to need him for? To help us lose? Because that's all he's done the last 3 years. It's helped us lose. Once again, we haven't won a playoff series in, it'll be 3 years in by the time the playoffs start. The last time the Lakers won a playoff series was versus Golden State in 2023. We're about to be in 2026. Do you guys find it coincidental that ever since he became a starter, we can't seem to win playoff series anymore? But according to him, we're going to need him to beat Denver, OKC, and Houston. Wasn't he there when we was playing Denver the last couple of years? Wasn't he there? We lost. He was there. He was there versus Minnesota. We lost. And he was the reason why. But now you're telling us we're going to need him? We're going to need him for what, Jovan? Be specific. What do we need him for? Shout out to Top Fly High. What's going on, man? King J, it's nasty work, bro. It's nasty work. What are we gonna need? What are we gonna need Reaves for? What are we gonna need him for? Shout out to Ellie Mars with a $2 super chat.
Hey, I fuck with your boy. Fuck with your boy.
LeBron fans.
He said, so he's saying bench LeBron, you can't take Jovan Buha serious. Exactly. He said they're trying to boost Aston's value off Bron and Luka's talent. Exactly. Exactly. Jay Dixon, OKC clamped Luka and Aston a few weeks ago. The game was over at halftime. Bro, they were down, 32 at halftime, Jay Dixon? They were down 32 at halftime. He says free throws. Chat, look at this clown. Look at this clown, chat. He says so was LeBron and AD. Dude, Austin doesn't get he doesn't get the same benefit of the doubt as LeBron James and Anthony Davis, clown. He doesn't get the benefit of the doubt. What are you talking about? Get out of here, man. I'm about to block your goofy ass, honestly. You're a goofball. You belong on them other platforms. You belong on other channels. This clown trying to say, look, bro, listen, when I'm discussing Austin Reaves, don't even mention LeBron James and Anthony Davis. He's not on their level. Don't even mention them. Don't even mention LeBron and AD. That's disrespectful to LeBron and AD. That's your problem. You're a disrespectful NBA fan. We over here talking about Austin Reaves, and he talking about so was LeBron and AD. Well, if you don't go sit your stupid ass down somewhere. You talking about the 2 number 1 overall picks, LeBron and Anthony Davis, those guys? So you trying to compare 2 number 1 overall picks to an undrafted fraud? Well, if you don't go sit your goofy ass down somewhere, man, and stay out my way. So like I said, folks, Jovan Buha says we're going to need Reaves. My question for you, Jovan, is for what? What do we need him for? Like Anubis said, for the free throws? Is that what you're talking about? Come on, man. This is a joke. This is a joke. This is who you guys be listening to? This is a joke to me, man. Honestly. Ishmael, this is a joke, gang.
But I think at the highest levels against the OKCs and the Denvers and the Houstons, the Lakers are really going to need Austin, because right now LeBron is looking better and LeBron is looking more like himself. But the version we've seen from Austin this year versus LeBron offensively, there has been a gap there. And LA.
My bad, Chad. I got to stop it real quick. Once again, this is the most pathetic basketball talk I've ever heard, man. This is pathetic, honestly. I don't know. The reason why I say it's pathetic, folks, and I got to whip out the fan chart for this, because this is like ridiculous. The reason why I say this is pathetic, folks, is because he just talks, right? He claims he, covers the Lakers, right? And all this stuff. But when he talks, he just says things and he doesn't provide any sort of context for the things that he says. Right? So he just threw out a statement there, right? He says there's been a gap between Austin Reaves and LeBron James. He just throws that out there, a blanketed statement like that. But notice, he doesn't provide any context. He didn't throw out the fact that LeBron James was out with sciatica, meaning he wasn't able to properly train this summer. He wasn't able to have a proper training camp in a preseason. And then he misses the whole first month of the season. He doesn't mention that part, right? So then he says there's a gap offensively between LeBron. Didn't I just tell you guys, ladies and gentlemen? If LeBron James is out, last year LeBron James averaged 24 points a game. If LeBron James is out, obviously that's going to pave the way for other guys to step up and get more production. That doesn't mean that because Rui stepped up and scored a little bit more, that doesn't mean now Rui is a better player than LeBron James. Just because Reaves' scoring went up a little bit doesn't mean that Reaves is now a better player than LeBron James. This is clown, bro, this is weak, bro. This is weak, man. This is weak. We got 444. He said him and Reaves resemble each other, so I see why he wants Reaves on the court. Folks, I had to whip out the fan chart for this one, man. Jovan Buha. Dude. I mean, I don't know, dude. You might be a troll, my guy. I don't know. You could be a troll. You could be... This is bad, dude. This is bad, bro. This is some next level trolling that I'm listening to right now, folks. I think Jovan might be a troll, folks. What's a troll? A person that's never played the game of basketball in their life. They talk about the NBA because they have no tribe or community. They are typically loners, nerds, geeks, etc. I don't know. This is pathetic. What are we listening to? There's been a gap between Reaves and LeBron. So what are you saying? Are you saying Reaves is a better player? Obviously not, right? Nobody would take you seriously if you said that. Shout out to Jay Dixon with the $2 super chat.
Hey, I fuck with your boy. Fuck with your boy.
LeBron fans.
He says the casuals hate Rich Paul's comments. Exactly. They were quick to discredit Rich Paul. So once again, he provided no context for why Reaves is having a better season than LeBron James. Obviously, we know LeBron James is a much better player than Austin Reaves. It's not even close, right? LeBron is honestly being affected by Reaves jacking up more shots every night, just like he's being affected by Luka jacking up more shots every night. That's why we're seeing LeBron's production down a little bit, even though LeBron is at this point up to 18 a game. I think I checked the stats this morning. LeBron is like at 18, 6, and 7 or something like that. So LeBron's working his way back up to getting back into that 20-point per game range. But yeah, folks, I mean, come on, man, stop it. No context provided whatsoever.
LeBron is looking better, and LeBron is looking more like himself. But the version we've seen from Austin this year versus LeBron offensively, there has been a gap there. And LA needs to be an elite offense, I think. I think that the blueprint for LA is being an elite offense and an above average defense. And like last night, for example, they were not an elite offense. Last night was not a good offensive performance for LA. It was actually their worst shooting performance of the season and their third highest turnover percentage of the season. So statistically, it was actually one of their worst offensive performances of the season.
Okay, folks, real quick. I'm sorry. I got to stop it again. This is like this is how nerds discuss basketball. I'm sorry. This is how nerds discuss basketball. So the dude said the key for the Lakers to be successful is for them to be an above average, what did he say? An excellent offense and an above average defense. You don't understand. You don't understand basketball, man. Chat. Growing up, what would they always tell us? Offense wins games, defense wins championships. Offense wins games, defense wins championships. To win in the postseason, you need to have a great defense, you need to be able to get stops, and you need to be able to get rebounds. That's how you win. When the Lakers won the championship in 2020, they were able to do those things. They were able to get stops, play sound defense, and get wins. And the offense flows from your defense. When you're able to get good, when you're able to get stops and all that, the offense comes after that. No, they want the Lakers offense to be elite and for them to have an above average defense. Well, how can you have an above average defense if Austin Reaves is on the floor? You will never have an above average defense with Austin Reaves in your starting lineup. So even by his own admission, he's still not making sense. You're still not making sense. We got Sav. He says we won a championship on defense. He says AR gets destroyed by basic spin moves. He says, why are we still on this offense thing when we all know our problem is defense? We got Chris. He said, Suns blew the Lakers out when Reaves played. Exactly. He said, above average defense doesn't even match LA. We got King J. He says, he just be talking, throwing out narratives. He said, Jovan's a clown. So that's his strategy on how the Lakers can win. Okay. All right, dude.
The blueprint for LA is being an elite offense and an above average defense. And like last night, for example, they were not an elite offense. Last night was not a good offensive performance for LA. It was actually their worst shooting performance of the season and their third highest turnover percentage of the season. So statistically, it was actually one of their worst offensive performances of the season. Now, it was one of their best defensive performances, but I don't think their ceiling is high enough defensively to do that against an OKC or a Denver itself.
So, folks, notice, right? He says the game against the Suns was one of the Lakers' worst offensive games. But then he says it was one of our best defensive games, right? But then he's like, but I don't think the Lakers' defensive ceiling is good enough to do this versus, OKC or blah, blah, blah. Folks, this, once again, you guys got to pay attention, man. He's just a narrative pusher. He pushes the narratives that, like I said, at this point, I wouldn't be surprised if Austin Reaves was paying this guy directly, honestly. I wouldn't be surprised. If we found out Austin Reaves was paying this guy directly, I wouldn't be surprised at all. It would honestly make more sense to me if that was the case. He's got to be getting paid at this point. You notice how we were a much better defensive team against the Phoenix Suns. Remember, 2 weeks ago, Phoenix blew us out at home with Austin Reaves in the starting lineup. Yesterday, the last game, Austin Reaves was on the bench dealing with his fake injury. And we beat Phoenix on the road behind a phenomenal defensive performance, thanks to guys like LeBron, thanks to guys like Vando, thanks to guys like Marcus Smart. But notice how he's quick to say, but I don't think that's gonna work. Well, how would you know in a 1-game sample size? So you don't think there's any room for improvement? You don't think we can improve on what we did in our last game? You don't think we can get better from that if we continue to utilize what we did in the game against the Suns? You don't think we can get better? You're just gonna take he's gonna take a 1-game sample size and be like, but I don't think that's gonna work. He gonna take a 1-game sample size and be like, yeah, but I don't think that's gonna work against OKC. But meanwhile, we have 3 years of Reaves. We have a 3-year sample size with Reaves. But he thinks the Reaves thing will work. Come on, Jovan. Come on, gang. Come on, gang. Chat, this is easy work. Jovan, you're easy work, bro. You're easy work, bro. This isn't even challenging. Come on, man. Give me somebody else, chat. Give me somebody else, man. This is light work. He's not ready for me. Pause. He's not ready. This is why they clicked up. This is why they started the Lakers Collective. This is why they clicked up. They don't want this smoke. You guys are easy work. We had a 1-game sample size versus Phoenix of no Austin Reaves at all. Vando's production went up. Vando's minutes went up. LeBron looked like himself again. Marcus Smart looked like a player, minus those boneheaded plays he had at the end of the game. Defensively, we look pretty good, but that won't work, chat. Nah, I don't think that's gonna work. But meanwhile, we have a 3-year sample size with Austin Reaves, and we know that's not gonna work. But you want to continue to see that instead of continuing to see Vando, Marcus Smart, and all these other guys who are good defensive players. You would rather see Austin Reaves than those guys. I can't take it seriously, chat. I just can't. I can't take it seriously. This is pathetic. This is pathetic. He said too much truth can be dangerous. This is pathetic, man. He said the white boys only care about offense because they can't play D. Come on, man. This is pathetic.
Their best defensive performances, but I don't think this team, I don't think their ceiling is high enough defensively to do that against an OKC or a Denver, etc. I think they need to beat those teams with their offense, but also have a baseline level of defense. So to hit the offensive ceiling, you need a better Luka, you need a better LeBron, but you also need Austin, and you need a better, of course, a better Austin than, you know, his OKC performance, his Phoenix performance, etc. But I don't see Austin moving to the bench for a myriad of reasons. But the biggest one is like the political element. He's also like, you don't bench a guy who's averaging 28 a game. That has never happened before, ever, right? Like he is beyond the production level of a player who comes off the bench. It's just, it is what it is.
So once again, chat. So towards the end, he's like, yeah, you know, basically for the politics, right? You don't bench a guy that's averaging 28 points a game. That's never happened before. Yeah, well, listen, man, he'll be the first. You know, he'll go down in history as, you know, being the first player to the fact that we're even having a conversation of benching him, Jovan, that should let you know that nobody believes in this 28 points per game that he's been scoring. Nobody believes it. Cause he's right. We've never, chat, think about this for a second. Cause he's absolutely right about that. I'll give him that. He's absolutely right. In the history of the league, right? We've never had a conversation about benching a player averaging 28 points per game. He's right about that. I'll give him that. So the fact that we are having the conversation, what does that tell you? That tells you that, number one, people don't believe that it's sustainable. Because once again, we're only a month into the season, in a few weeks. We're approaching 2 months, actually. I think the season started, October 21st? So yeah, in about 4 days, it'll be 2 months. So we're 2 months in. So number one, the fact that people are even discussing this, that lets me know, number one, people don't think it's sustainable that he's going to average 28. Number two, people don't feel like him averaging 28 makes us a better team. And number three, yeah, he's averaging 28, but then on the other side of the ball, he's giving up just as many. So it's like, what good is the 28? What good is scoring 28, ladies and gentlemen, when you're going to give up 30 on the other end? What good is averaging 28? I don't think these dudes understand that. And you guys might think, oh, no, that's not true. He's not giving up 30 on the other end. No, he actually is. He actually is, folks. You guys remember that Spurs game, folks? When we played you guys remember that game when we played the Spurs a couple games ago? Who was Austin's assignment, folks? Who was Austin's assignment? Stephon Castle, right? That was his assignment. That was his man. He was the 2 guard. De'Aaron Fox was the point guard. Look at Stephon Castle, folks. 30 points. 10 for 14. 3 of 6 from three-point line. 10 rebounds. 6 assists. Austin Reaves, 15 points. So Austin had 15. His assignment had 30. Once again, you're averaging 28 against the Pelicans. You're averaging 20. Matter of fact, let's dig a little bit deeper into this rabbit hole. Let's dig a little bit deeper into this rabbit hole, folks. I'm trying to think of like all the teams that we've played that's above 500. Y'all give me 1 second. Let me get the phone lines open. Shout out to everybody that's tuned in. Y'all do me a favor and drop a like on the video. I'm trying to dig a little bit deeper into this Austin Reaves rabbit hole. Because like I said, he's putting up these numbers, folks, against the bottom feeder. I can't find it right now. I can't find out what his stats are against teams above 500. That's a complex thing to search for. But I'm pretty sure he's not averaging 28 versus like OKC, Phoenix, the Spurs. You know, all the teams that's playing well, doing above 500. I don't believe he's averaging 28. And I don't think these other dudes are taking that into consideration. Once again, they don't provide context. They don't provide context. Really, let's just be honest, right? Who are the real teams that the Lakers are going to have to play come playoff time? The real contenders are like really probably Spurs in the West, at least. The real contenders would be OKC, Denver, Spurs, and let's just throw the Rockets out there. Right? Let's just throw the Rockets out there. We've only played the Spurs and OKC so far because we haven't played Denver and we haven't played Houston. So let me just look up his stats versus the Spurs and OKC this season. Yeah. Yeah, this rabbit hole gets deep, folks. This rabbit hole gets deep, man. Yep.
Drop your dot, you know I'm coming. Lace front fucked up, you should've wore your bunny.
Please don't tell me that was you saying the 96 sign.
Running from me.
This is what you got to realize.
Running.
It's very easy to out-debate locker room. It's not very
Running
challenging
from me.
whatsoever. The fact that you let locker room outwit you and out-debate you, it says a lot. We're not talking about a very high-level basketball mind. And you got outwitted by the locker room.
Chat, this rabbit hole gets it gets deep, man. We've played OKC and we've played the Spurs this season. Anubis, let me get your thoughts on this, bro. Now, Jovan Buha says we can't bench Reaves because he's averaging 28 this season. And my rebuttal to that would be, no, he's averaging 28 against the bottom feeder teams. But we've played 2 of the top 5 teams in the West so far. We've played OKC and we've played San Antonio. Austin Reaves, Anubis, is averaging 14 points, 7 rebounds, and 5 assists versus those teams. And then from the field, let me see. From the field, oh, wow, that's nasty. That is oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh my God. No. Oh my God, chat. The rabbit hole gets deep. I can go further, I promise. Chat, the boy is shooting 36% from the field and 18.
When you put defense on him, when you put real defense on Reaves, that's the true Reaves.
Oh my God. Oh yeah, I see why these niggas don't like me. I ain't gonna lie now. I get it now. I see why they can't stand me. Oh my God. I didn't even know this, chat. I didn't even know this. Wow. Wow. Anubis, say something.
I got a lot to say, and it's like, you're not going to win with him. It's like, Reaves is like a lesser retarded version of Luka. Luka, basically. That's the way he plays. And our biggest problem is defense. So why not put one of the defensive liabilities on the bench? That would make sense. And instead, we got Vando just rotting on the bench, and you're talking about we don't got defense. What are we doing? It just doesn't make sense. Y'all would rather lose games and have Reaves put up 26 points. This is what Lakers fans want. At least he got his points. Y'all pathetic. Y'all not real about winning no championship. That's not how you win a championship. This dude is foul baiting and stat padding into 20 points a game. We sitting here getting blown out by 20. Here come Reaves chipping in 2-3 points, getting foul baiting to getting the 20 points. That's pathetic. That's not basketball, man. Because when the game's close, Reaves is getting locked up. Real talk. That's how they build the league. You got Reaves out there shooting bricks, out there getting locked up, losing the ball. I didn't see him pick the ball from Reaves. Him going behind the back, doing that little weak behind the back move. Come on, man. His rules are predictable. Anybody that watches the game can see that.
We got Jay Dixon. Shout out to Jay Dixon, man, for the $2 super chat. Shout out to you, man. Appreciate you, man.
Hey, I fuck with your boy. Fuck with your boy.
LeBron fans.
He says the dude is shooting pee-wee basketball numbers, bro.
Exactly.
Anubis. Okay, once again, we've played 2 of the better teams in the Western Conference so far this season. We've played OKC and we've played the Spurs. The dude is shooting 36% from the field and 18% from a 3-point line.
Yeah, Westbrook could do better than that.
Facts.
Shooting off the side of the backboard,
Westbrook.
Westbrook.
Nah, Jovan Buha, bro, you gotta knock it off, dude. You have to stop.
Yeah, he's
bro.
nasty.
You have to stop, bro. Like the narratives that y'all are pushing over there, bro. He really just tried to say, "Oh, he's averaging 28. We can't bench him." What is he doing against the real competition, bro? We don't care about what he's gonna do against the Wizards. We're not gonna play them in the playoffs.
It's nasty work, bro. And then,
Anubis,
like you said,
the dude will have a good game against Charlotte, and they're going to use that game to make their argument. But we're not going to have to play Charlotte. They're not even going to be in the playoffs.
Yep.
But the teams where he gets cooked on, they want to say, "Oh, well, he had a bad game, but that isn't indicative of who he's been over the course of the season." Really?
That 50-point game he had was his championship. To them.
But
that's the way they're viewing it. He had a 50-point game.
But Anubis, he had 22 free throws.
Exactly. We already know that. But what I'm saying is you got to think of these casuals. All they see is the number.
He had more free throw makes than he did field goal makes.
Yep, but to them, remember, Reg, it's the numbers. They don't care. It's 50 point. He dropped 50. Why would you put him on the bench? Like you said, he's averaging 20 something. Man, get out of here, bro. He's a bum. He really. I don't care. And see, in this era we're living, that we're watching the basketball, they're just now starting to change it, and he's going to get exposed even more. You know. That, like I said, that AR-15 turns into a water gun when they play against real competition. Ain't nobody afraid of the little stuff he be doing, bro. He's trash. G League type talent he is. People don't get that. He's gonna get exposed even more when it gets close or time for playoffs, and then it's gonna be too late. Then can't get rid of him now. Now we got to deal with the little reject that can barely dribble.
We got Roland in the chat. He said those numbers are absolutely awful. Roland, it's like the Luka rabbit hole, bro. The more you dig, like the nastier this stuff gets. I remember yesterday, like it was certain things we dug up yesterday, and it was I didn't even know. I had no idea. I had no idea Luka led the league in turnovers. I didn't know he led the league in field goal attempts, 3-point attempts. I had no idea.
Free throws, yep. And then exactly. Reaves averages more free throws than Giannis. Make it make sense.
Bro, this is crazy, bro. I knew he played bad against the good teams, but I didn't know he was shooting 36% from the field and 18% from three. I didn't know it was that bad.
Yeah. If you really pay attention to Reaves, the first 2 quarters, he's playing horrible. And then the last 2, he tried to pick up his numbers a little bit. That's the way he does when he has horrible games, and people just act like they don't see it. It's like, I watched the full game.
That's crazy to me. We got Ricky J. He said, it's that CNN, Fox News, white boy stuff. They live in a gray area where you can only tell half-truths, which are lies. We got Rainey Does. He said Reaves is the weakest defender on the team. Pacey, that's what I've been saying. He wouldn't even. Pacey said, honestly, Austin wouldn't even play if I was the coach. And when I said it, Pacey, they was like, bro, okay, now you're just hating. They were like, you were a hater. I literally said that. I'm like, bro, if I was the coach, he wouldn't play for me. I'm keeping it a buck. He would not play for me. This is diabolical, man. We got Roland. He said we got to keep exposing this, bro. That's crazy, bro. We've played 2 elite teams so far in the West this year, chat. We've played. I'm not even gonna mention, like, should I throw in the Phoenix games too, chat? Let me throw in Phoenix. Let me throw in his stats versus Phoenix. Wow. Okay, it gets a little bit better. So I threw in the Phoenix game too, because we've played Phoenix, we've played Phoenix, we've played. Okay, no, we did play Minnesota too. Okay, let me be fair to him. Let me throw in Minnesota too. Yeah, because Golden State has a losing record. Let me show you guys. So we've played Golden State, but they got a losing record. They're still a playoff team though. We've played Golden State, we've played Phoenix, we've played Minnesota, and we've played the Spurs and OKC. We haven't played Denver yet, and we haven't played Houston yet. So let me throw in all the teams. Let me just throw in all the playoff teams. 1 through 8. Let's just see his record versus everybody. His numbers versus everybody. Let me throw in the Warriors and then the Timberwolves. Okay, so let me show you guys this. So he's averaging against all of those teams, right? He's averaging 21, 8, and 5 against all of those teams in 6 games. And then he's averaging 45% from the field, and he's shooting 28% from a 3-point line. But once again, I'm being fair to him at this point because Golden State is not going to be a contender. Phoenix is not going to be a contender. Minnesota probably, I don't know, Minnesota, they could be a contender, maybe. I don't really see them as a contender. So I threw like 3 of those teams in there. The teams that I think are really going to be able to compete this year, chat, are going to be the Spurs, Denver, OKC, and Houston. Those are the top 4 teams that I think have a legitimate chance. Really not even Houston so much. Really just like Denver, OKC, and the Spurs. You know, I don't know what Houston's going to do as of right now. I can't throw them in that mix right now. I haven't really kept up with them either. But just out of the teams that we've played so far, Anubis, he's played like absolute garbage. So, you said outside of Luka's trash performance on Sunday, the ball moved so much better without Austin on the floor. Exactly. Y'all do me a favor, like Mr. Player May said, and drop a like on the video. Let's get these likes up, folks. Let's get to over 100 likes, folks. Let's get to over 100 likes. Wow, man. The Austin Reaves rabbit hole gets deeper, man. It's deeper than what we initially thought, folks. Against OKC and San Antonio so far this season, this is what Austin Reaves is averaging, folks. Wow. Against OKC. Oh, no, this is with Phoenix included. Let me take Phoenix out because, like I said, I don't see Phoenix as a real contender. Ain't no team contending with Devin Booker as their best player. You're trolling if Devin Booker's your best player. So, yeah. I do see the Spurs and OKC as contenders, though. So, like I said, against both of these teams, folks, so far this season, 36% from the field, 18% from a 3-point line. This is Austin Reaves when we play legitimate competition, folks. Once again, folks, y'all do me a favor and get the likes up. Let's get to over 100 likes. We got Ryan. You said we were up 20 points with Vando playing because he gets them extra possessions with second chance points. Yeah, Vando's a menace on the glass. He's just a big body. You know, I thought Vando, he proved his value in that last game, Anubis.
But it's just JJ Redick's fault. JJ Redick told Vando, when LeBron comes back, you're not going to get in anymore. That's stupid. And see now, Vando, we gotta cut his minutes to appease Austin Reaves because he wants his bag. That's what it is. That's the politics of all this. And that's just like y'all would rather lose than play as a more complete team with certain players, which we need. If you're gonna have two cones on the basketball court, you're gonna need somebody else that can actually play defense besides just Marcus Smart. Because sometimes Smart he gets in foul trouble a lot. So you take him off, we ain't got no defenders on the field, and that's how we end up getting blown out. Because Rui, he's not that good of a defender. Ayton, come on now. Ayton, he's a big man. He's not going to be defending nobody like that. And then LeBron, he's too old to be making up for what Luka and Reaves aren't doing. That's what they don't get.
We got Rainy Dust. He says JJ is an egotistical idiot. Yeah, I think with JJ, once again, JJ as a player, I mean, he was kind of like Reaves and Luka. Like, all he cared about was shooting and scoring. He didn't play any sort of defense whatsoever. He was a liability. He got picked on. So yeah, I mean, JJ to me, he's worse than Darvin. I mean, even with all of Darvin's flaws, I mean, you got to remember Darvin's first year we went to the conference finals. I mean, we won 2 playoff series with Darvin. We beat Minnesota, and we beat Memphis, and then we beat Golden State, who were the defending champions at that point in 2023. So the fact that, we get to the playoffs last year, and JJ Redick doesn't play any of his bench unit. I mean, who does that?
Yeah, that was dumb. I really hated that.
You didn't play anybody on the bench. You didn't play a center. Like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? So I agree with Rainey does. His ego is out of control. Somebody needs to put hands on him, honestly. We got Hoyt Bell. You said just listen to that other podcast. And another guy said that they wouldn't trade AR for Paolo Banchero straight up. They said they would have to get a superstar to trade AR. Yeah, once again, Hoyt Bell, these dudes, Anubis, these dudes still think that Rob and Jeannie are running the team still. They don't understand that we have new management now.
Yeah, I don't think he cares. I don't think he cares at all.
Yeah, you're right. Probably don't care. But don't you think that it's going to be different now? Like, don't you think that Rob Pelinka is on borrowed time?
I hope it's going to be different because I need to see the action behind it, bro. Like, I hear what people are saying about the new owner, but I really want to see action because if the Lakers have a shot, they got to make moves, bro. Because, like you said, that you named the 2 top teams in the West, and they're both loaded. They can go 1 through 5 through the bench and sub in, and it's just like you won't even notice.
And they can
the
play
replacement.
And they can play different styles.
Yep.
Like we saw with the Spurs, like they were winning games without Wemby. Wemby comes back and then they go and beat OKC.
Yep. And there's no reason for Austin Reaves to play 38 minutes. That's way too long.
Yeah.
And see, that's the way JJ Redick plays him. Him and Luka. They don't need to play that long. This is the reason why they're scoring so many points. He's playing dang near the whole game.
We got Mac with the Vortex. He said Ayton's mom cooked for the team yesterday. JJ's plate told me all I need to know about how he feels about blacks. What did he have on his? I saw that too, but I didn't pay attention to JJ's plate. What did JJ have on his plate, chat?
I didn't see it either.
What did JJ have on his plate? That's funny. But yeah, I did see that she cooked some good food though. Some good Caribbean food. I seen that. You know they don't eat that
all
stuff,
I know,
though, Chad.
That Backstreet Boy concert is all I need to see about the BS that's going on, bro.
Right.
The beginning of the season.
Right. I forgot about the Backstreet Boy concert. He said barely nothing. Hell no. We got Ty. Ty, what's your thoughts on this whole situation, man?
Reggie, man, this is bad, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I think that Suns game was, in my opinion, one of the worst performances I've ever seen a so-called superstar ever have in the NBA history. 7 for 25, that's horrible. That's like 2K like bad numbers, man. It's really
Ty,
bad with Luka.
Ty,
Yeah.
real quick before you go to that, do you have anything on
Austin
Reaves?
Reaves,
Yeah.
man, he needs to be traded. I'm not gonna lie. I don't even entertain the thought of him because it's a joke. He already said we should start Marcus Smart. In my opinion, Marcus Smart is a better fit for the situation that we have. He's not maybe a league better player, but he plays defense and sometimes he can get hot from three. Austin Reaves is 32% from three if I'm wrong. But I believe he's shooting 32% from three this season. As a shooting guard, that's just atrocious. That's terrible, Reggie. That's horrible. He can't compete with the other shooting guards in the league as a starter. Now maybe off the bench, maybe. I don't even want him on the team personally, but he
I
can't
don't
be in the
either.
starting lineup. Not with Luka. There's no way they can't mesh because they both have the same bag, which is this foul baiting offense with no defense and no athleticism. You can't have two guards doing that. One guard has to be able to play defense. They both can't get exposed in the high pick and roll. You won't win. Our defense, in order to be a championship team, this is a fact. You have to have a top 10 offense and at least a top 10 defense. We're like 17th in defense. That's terrible. Offense, we're like maybe like 12th or 10th. Don't quote me on that. But that's only because of the fouls. If you take away the free throws, our offense is not a top 10, top 12. Is it a top 20 offense? I don't know. And we're seeing that, and the Suns game really exposed that. To be honest, I don't really think LeBron, and I'm a LeBron fan, had an amazing offensive game against that Suns game. He had a lot of turnovers. And he had a good shooting game, but all in all, the playmaking side of it, offensively, it wasn't that great either. And that's because of the way Luka Doncic plays. He's a ball-dominant shooting player, and he can't get other players in rhythm, which takes everything out the game. So we're just not going to win. We can't win with Austin Reaves as the starting shooting guard. Is Marcus Smart going to get us a championship? No. We're not going to win with Marcus Smart.
Hold on, Ty, because here's my thing, right? Because when you mention Reaves and Marcus Smart, you said that Reaves is probably considered a better player overall. But me personally,
no. Right. Go ahead.
Me personally, I don't see it that way, because when I look at Marcus Smart and his impact defensively outweighs anything Reaves does offensively.
That's valid.
So it's like,
and what I right?
Nah, because to me, I just hate that like people like Jovan and like all these other people like that claim they cover the Lakers. They will try to say like, oh, but Reaves is just better because he's averaging 28. But it's like Marcus Smart, he's made the All NBA defensive team. Let me see. He's been first team all defense 3 times, and he's a defensive player of the year. He's a far more accomplished player defensively than Reaves is offensively. Reaves hasn't done anything with any of this offense that he's doing. He's not, I mean.
Correct. And, I think the only thing with Marcus Smart that worries me, and Rich, tell me how you feel about this, I feel like he's not very consistent.
Yo, Ty. I don't know if you're moving. Ty. I don't know if you're moving or not. I think you're in the car. Your audio is going in and out. You might have to just like be still or something, bro. I don't know if you're driving right now, but it's like messing up. Are you driving?
Nah, I'm not. I'm parked now. Is it better?
Okay.
Yeah, it's better now.
Am I tripping or I can? Yeah, I don't know.
Just
I'm
call
back.
back.
Call back.
Call back, Ty. Call back. But yeah, I think Marcus Smart's defensive impact, Anubis, is far greater than what Reaves does offensively. That's just me though.
And what he's doing, we already got that from Luka, so we don't need more of that.
Right.
That's what people don't get. Why have two
And that's
Lukas
another
on the
thing too.
court?
It's like, bro, it's not about every player. Every player's not out there to score 20 points.
Yep.
You know, like, I mean, we get it. Austin scored 28. Okay, whoop-de-doo. We'll give him credit for that. But like you said, that's not what we need, though. You know, there's a difference. You know, so
Because we have to take the ball out of LeBron's hands. So because Reaves is not a good off-ball player. He needs the ball in his hands.
Right.
So now you got two people doing the same thing, chucking up shots, bricking, foul baiting. We're not going to win that way. That's what the casuals don't get. Neither one of them playing defense. Neither one of them getting back on defense. So now you got 3 on 5 if we're lucky. Because Rui, you know, he's somewhere in Japan. So you got to get him a map to get him back to where he at. You know, so it's like, man, and Vando, I feel like turn up Vando's minutes. Yeah, I mean, on offense, whatever. But see, we got enough offense to where you can throw Vando out there. We need him out there to get stops. You have to eventually stop the other team. People don't get that.
And the thing with Vando is we don't got to play him 30 minutes. You know, we can do it like we did the last game. Give him a cool 15 to 20, and that'll be straight. But once again, Anubis and Ty, I think because Mark Walter has taken over the team, I think that this changes everything with the way with the way this team has been ran. Because now I don't think JJ, nobody's job is safe anymore, right? They just fired the Bus brothers. Okay, so what that tells me is that new ownership has come in. Nobody's job is safe anymore. So now you gotta basically coach for your life now. Rob Pelinka, you gotta be a GM now. You can't just sit back and think you're good because Genie's running the team now. Now you have to actually do your job. So I think now with JJ, it's like, bro, Mark Walter and them, that you weren't their guy. You weren't their hire. So if you're not winning, if you're not putting together a winning product onto the floor, if you're not putting out, good lineups and things like that, you're expendable, in my opinion. Like this job security that you thought you had when Genie was running the show, that's gone now. Like they got billions. They could just fire you and get somebody else. So I think that changes everything. Now you see JJ, like he had to go back to Vando, gang. And
I think that
you gonna have to stick with him, because if you don't, like I said, that could be your ass. So it's on you.
Yep. What is the name of the tournament? I know it's not the playing tournament, but the tournament that they're playing was a good test.
NBA Cup?
Yeah, the cup. I like it because it's a good test to see how are you going to play when there's something to play for, when the stakes are actually high. And we see Luka and Reaves crumble every time. They can't handle the pressure. So you got to do something about one of them. You can't keep both of them.
That's a good point.
Real talk.
You're right. The NBA Cup is a good litmus test.
Yep.
In the beginning of the
season. It's like a pre-test.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. That's a great point. I didn't
He's
think
absolutely
about it like
right. And here's one thing, and I want to see, and this is the one thing I really think we need to focus more on the Lakers, is that these games that we won, and Reggie talks about this all the time, I don't really count those because those were under 500 teams for the most part. These past like 10 games, that's the Lakers. That's what we really are. We are an inefficient offense, and when it comes to, it's time to be clutch, it's time to do this thing, we can't count on our starting lineup, and we can't count on our bench. I agree that Vando needs some minutes, maybe like 10, 15. I don't think we should be playing Gabe Vincent at all. Gabe Vincent should not touch the court. He should not touch the court. I think Vando should get all of his minutes because he's bigger and basically can do the same thing. Gabe Vincent is a supposed shooter, but he can't make threes. So we might as well just give all those minutes to Vando. That's better defense. Austin Reaves goes to the bench. Marcus is I think he should play the point guard. Luka is not a point guard to me. He's more of a small forward shooting guard. I would put Smart at the point guard position. I feel like that would make the offense a little bit better, and that doesn't always put Luka exposed at that high pick and roll. That doesn't win us a championship necessarily. We need to make a trade, but I think that will help us actually be a better contender.
And to add to your point, Smart would do a better job defensively on the smaller, quicker guards because Luka can't keep up. So
Correct.
you
He's
got to
too
put him on
big to be a point
somebody
guard.
slower.
Exactly. He's too
Yep.
big. I think he's a
Yep.
small forward. Personally, I think he's a small forward. He's a point forward, but again, I don't really know if I want Braun playing the power forward either.
I
So
don't
that's
like
why
Braun
I'm
playing
kind of
power
not
forward.
necessarily. I
Yeah.
would rather Braun at the small forward and have Luke at the shooting guard. And then I think personally, we should look to possibly trade Rui. Now, the reason why I say this, he to me has more value than an Austin Reaves in an actual standpoint of a trade because NBA teams also know Austin Reaves is who we're saying he is. So, in my opinion, if we want to actually make the roster better, Rui would have to be traded. That's Austin Reaves would also need to be traded, but you have to package them together. You can't get Austin Reaves really off to get a good player. You'd get a player that matches his kind of skill set, and that's not that great. You have to trade Rui and Austin, probably one of the pick swaps we have to actually make the team better. We're not going to get Giannis, but we could go get a role player. There's a lot of role players out there that there's 72 players, I think, on December 15th that become available. We need to hit that market really bad because this roster is not going to win.
Jay Dixon, you make a good point, bro. You said we see what happened when the Lakers had Vando, Cam Reddish, and AD playing defense in the NBA Cup. They had those players in defensive hell. That's so true, bro, because you're right, bro. We won that cup, and then the crazy thing is Darvin messed up by going back to D'Lo and Reaves in his starting lineup.
And see, you know what? Ayton even said that. Vando actually helps with getting rebounds. Rui ain't getting rebounds. Rui out there just lost. So this is why I would start Vando. Because Vando helps even in that post position dealing with some of these power forwards that are more athletic that LeBron is too old to be guarding. And see, that's why I don't want LeBron at power forward because he's too old, man. Like to be down there banging with the big dude. Nah, let him play small forward, small point guard like he likes to play, and then put somebody like Vando at power forward. Start Smart so he can guard the quicker guards, and then you can start Luka and then do Ayton. That would be a cool starting lineup, and then the bench can be whoever because I agree we should trade Rui and Reaves and get somebody for the bench. Because the bench, we need somebody for the bench.
Hold on. Let me look at this starting lineup real quick from that Cup game. So in that Cup game, the Lakers won in 2023. This is the stats for the Cup game, folks. So in that game, LeBron 24 points. He was 10 for 21, 11 rebounds, 4 assists. Did have 6 turnovers, but had 2 steals. And was a plus 19. AD 41 points, 16 for 24, 9 for 13 from the free throw line. Taurean Prince 6 points, Cam Reddish 9 points, D'Lo 13 points, on 6 of 15 from the field. Rui didn't score, Vando didn't score, Jackson Hayes didn't score. Reaves had 28 off the bench on 12 free throws, 9 of 15 from the field. And then Max Christie had 2 points. You see, Reaves came off the bench in this game. Vando came off the bench. Rui came off the bench. See, that lineup was like more balanced. You know what I mean? Because D'Lo, he's a liability defensively. But so you play him with Cam. You know what I mean? Even though Cam's not really a scorer like that, he can score, but he's not a scorer in the NBA. But he's a very good on-ball defender. So now you got him, Taurean Prince. You got them, guarding, the perimeter, and then you got AD and LeBron. They provided your scoring. They did the heavy lifting scoring wise, and then obviously AD provides some rim protection. So. You
It's,
said 7 assists
yeah, the
for
problem.
D'Lo. Yeah.
The problem with the starting lineup is there's too much offense, not enough defense.
Yeah. And my
And they
thing
got to
is, it's
change
like,
that.
it's like, okay, at what point do you make a change? You know, I saw JJ Redick's interview where he was talking about Vando, and he was basically saying, like, you know, we've been communicating with Vando the entire time that he probably wouldn't play. But my thing is, it's like, okay, so you've got no problems, like, you know, benching Vando. Like, does he not want to upset Reaves? Is that because I've told you what I've seen, Anubis and Ty. I saw it last year when JJ's house caught on fire. If you guys remember that.
I do remember that.
Yeah, there was a video of Reaves. He goes up to JJ at practice, like, yeah, just trying to make sure you're good. You know what I mean? Blah blah blah. And I'm like, see, I see what he's doing. He's trying to butter JJ up. He's trying to build that relationship. And like, this is what people don't get. I remember my homie told me this in high school. He was like, cause freshman year we both tried out for the freshman team. He ended up making the team. I didn't, right? So he ends up telling me, he's like, yeah, I ended up making the team basically by like getting cool with the coach. And like, I remember, like, you know, at tryouts, he would like be cracking jokes with the coach. Like, you know, like it was a politic game. That's what he told me. He was like, you got to be one of the ones that they like. And I was like, damn, that's so true. Like, because if you just come in, they don't know who you are. You know, you don't talk to them. They don't know you. They probably ain't gonna pick you. But if you already have a relationship with them, you know, they like you, whatever the case is, you know, you're more likely to get picked. So it's the same thing. That's what I think Reaves has done this entire time. He's buttered up LeBron, and I'll give him credit on that because it's actually smart to do if you're Reaves, right? You butter up the superstars, you get in good with them, you make sure they like you, and I think that's what he's done. So I think at this point, you know, yeah, I think JJ, it's going to be hard for him to bench Reaves until because remember when Darvin benched him? Darvin had to break it to him like, you know, this isn't a benching, it's a realignment. You know, we think you can be our Manu Ginobili. They had to break it to him easy. You know what I mean? So now
Go ahead. My bad. I just want to know how the film study would go. You're seeing Luka and Reaves get cooked the whole time. I wonder what JJ's saying. I wonder if he's actually pointing it out.
I don't think he is.
I don't think.
But
think about.
I'm gonna tell you what I think it is, Anubis. I think JJ Redick has certain guys that he's gonna criticize, and I think there's gonna be certain guys that are gonna be off limits.
But then think about how a film session would go. You're gonna skip over them getting cooked, but then hey, Jackson Hayes, you got to get this rebound, and hey, you missed an assignment. We're gonna skip over them getting cooked the whole time on defense, but you just want to criticize me because of one play.
Yeah.
Think about what that does for the chemistry of the team. That's what I'm saying. Like,
I agree with you, but my thing is too is that we also got to realize too that it's also like the money is a factor too. So it's like when you look at certain guys are making more, so certain guys get more leeway. You know, obviously LeBron and Luka, they make the most, so they're going to get the most leeway. But if you're a guy like, if you're Nick Smith Jr., you ain't going to get no leeway. You know, you mess up, you might not play again. But see, my thing is Vando's under contract. We gave Vando's making like $10 million a year, which is what I don't understand. You know, like how you just gonna throw Vando in the doghouse and he's making almost as much as Reaves. Reaves only making like 14, I think.
What I don't get about Luka and Reaves fans are, if you have to compare their trash defense to a 41-year-old and say he don't play, he's 41. If they don't play close enough defense to him, that is horrible. They're in their 20s. What you mean you can't slide your feet, Luka? Make it make sense. It should be. I mean, and that's the thing. You can't. They love criticizing LeBron for these little things, but Luka and Reaves, I don't hear nothing. It's crickets. They could do no wrong.
My thing is, Rui is making $18 million this year. Reaves is making 13, 14.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
And see, that's the politics behind it that I don't like.
Vando's making 11 and a half. Gabe Vincent's making 11 and a half.
We want to win a championship, or we want to people please?
Dalton's making 4. Jake LaRavia's making 6. Kleber's making 11, which is insane. But yeah, Rui's the third. Rui's the third highest paid on the team.
That's why he has to be traded.
How is he getting one shot, one attempt?
That's crazy.
Well, that's like he's saying he's not playing bad. He's not getting no attempts. You got Luka taking 30 shots.
Rui got it easy right now. Rui ain't got to do much. You know what I mean? He ain't got to score for real. Now with Luka on the team, like he can just run up and down basically, and he getting 18 M's. No, I'd say, hey, Luka, Rui got to pay. He got to earn his money too. We can't just have you doing everything. You got to pass the ball. You know what I mean? Because Rui, he the third highest paid on the team. Luka's making 54. LeBron's making 52. And Rui's making 18. And then I think from there it's Austin at 13, Vando at 11.5, Gabe Vincent 11.5, and then it just trickles down from there. So I guess they would be upset if Marcus Smart starts starting over Reaves, because Marcus Smart's only making $5 million and Reaves is making 14. But once again, JJ Redick, you got it. You gonna have to make up your mind, because you getting paid too. You know, you getting, how much is JJ making? Probably $4 or $5 million a year.
It's something close. Yeah, something close to that.
So guess what? If you want to keep making this money, yeah, JJ Redick signed a 4-year, $32 million deal to coach the Lakers in 2024. But in September 25, they gave him a 2-year extension, keeping him under contract through the 2029-2030 season for a total of roughly $45 million. So imagine that, right? After 1 year of getting smoked in the first round, they extend JJ Redick, but they didn't extend Darvin Ham. That's insane.
Crazy.
That's insane. Darvin got to the conference finals his first year.
Yep.
It's bad business, man. It's bad business.
Two terrible coaches, if you ask me. Like I still don't like Darvin Ham. I'm sorry. Darvin Ham was kind of similar. He's a pushover.
Darvin Ham signed a 4-year contract with the Lakers, reportedly worth around $5 million annually, but was fired in 2024 with 2 years remaining. So he signed for 4 years, about $20 million, and then they signed JJ for 4 years, $32 million. Wow.
I felt like the only coach I feel bad for is Frank Vogel. Frank Vogel is the coach that I feel bad for. He was the best coach we had. Darvin Ham, I feel bad practice on him. But Frank Vogel, he's actually the coach that got the bad end of the stick. He went through the worst for sure. It's Frank.
We got Hilltop Shack. Shout out to Hilltop Shack with a $2 super chat.
I fuck with your boy. Fuck with your boy.
LeBron fans.
You said LeBron plays at the 4 because small forward these days are guards.
No, I still want him at small forward, bro. And power forwards are too athletic, man. He's too old to be chasing him around.
Shoot, power forwards are sometimes 7 foot, so I wouldn't necessarily put LeBron on that. So I think LeBron, honestly, in an ideal situation, he's the 1, but in real life, he'll probably be the 3. That makes the most sense. In a better scheme, he plays the point guard because he's actually the best playmaker we have on the team. Luka would be more of the 3, maybe Smart 2. That's like my ideal lineup right there. LeBron plays point guard, to be honest.
And I think it's game to game basis because if you got a small ball lineup like the Golden State Warriors, then you can get away with playing LeBron at the 4. But these other teams in the West, nah, he got to play the 3. They too big, like you said. The power forwards are a lot taller, a lot more athletic now.
It's a different game. You can't play that position. And when they
Yep.
did it last year, it didn't make sense to me. When they put him at the power forward for a little bit, that didn't make sense to me either. I just thought that was kind of awkward. He's just not. That's not his playing position. He's never been a power forward. Really, he's played it like crossover on like small ball lineups, but starting not really until the Lakers. So that was just odd, very odd.
With 3 guards, who's gonna get rebounds? Because
They
LeBron, I mean,
expected
he can
AD
get
and
rebounds, but
LeBron.
he's 41. Now you're putting all the pressure on Ayton or at the time Anthony Davis, and that's what Anthony Davis was complaining about. We don't have no other rebounders in here but me. And that 3 and 4 guard lineup was crazy.
Right now, I think we have 2 bench players in our starting lineup, which is Rui and Austin Reeves. I think Rui's better on the bench because he can
Yeah.
score and he's a really good 3-point shooter. Sometimes he's our most consistent 3-point shooter. Austin Reeves wants to be like Luka, so because of that, if those 2 are off the bench, that gives some production. I'm not necessarily saying, as of right now, who would play Rui's spot. I don't know. We don't really have a great feel. Maybe Vando, but I don't really love that. But Marcus Smart fills in. Rui and Austin Reeves, in my opinion, both go off the bench. I think that's honestly the future because Rui is not great off ball with Luka Doncic. He just doesn't know what to do. You move him to the bench, he gets some more creativity with Austin Reeves. You got to fill those 2 spots. But either way, I think they both need to be traded, in my opinion. Either way.
And the reason you got to trade Reeves because when you put him on the bench, remember what he did when Ham moved into the bench. He was pouting. He shoulder checked him, and I'm like, man, get this dude out of here. He's too egotistical. He, like you said, he really thinks he's Luka or LeBron. You're not nice like that, bro. Just be who you are, a 6-man and a role player off the bench. You're not a superstar. In his head, he thinks he is. You got role players that think they superstars and want to be paid like superstars. This is crazy.
At the end of the day, I think we're gonna fall in the rank. I don't know if we're like 5th right now. I think by the end of the season, we're 7th, maybe 6th. I wouldn't be surprised if we're 8, to be honest. There's a lot of good teams. And like I think our record is better than what we actually are. So even still that we're in this top 5, maybe we're like higher, maybe 3rd or 4th. I don't think we're gonna finish like that. And again, we've had a lot of injuries this season so far. Like basically all of our starters have been hurt at some point. So there's a long season to go. So we know how Luka is. He might get injured. We know how everybody else is on the Lakers with our luck. They might get injured too. So I think we just got to wait it out. But we don't finish top 5 in my eyes.
We got Hilltop Shack. Shout out to Hilltop Shack with a $2 super chat.
I fuck with your boy. Fuck with your boy.
LeBron fans.
You said LeBron plays the best point guard, but Luka and AR can't shoot.
Facts.
Yeah.
And
you need
I'm with
shooters.
him.
You're going to need shooters
Yep.
if you're going to put LeBron at the point. That is true. Because when he played point in 2020, you had KCP and Danny Green. Those guys were shooters, so that is true.
And then like you gotta trade. You gotta trade these players that you're not using. You got Dalton Connect just rotting on the bench. Might as well trade him. You're not gonna put him in at all. What are we doing? By the time you put him in, he gonna be cold trash because he doesn't play. And that's why I was like, I don't know what JJ's doing. It's like they got to be meeting about this stuff. If we're not going to use these players, why are we keeping them? And then Dave, like you said, Gabe Vincent, I'm tired of seeing him. Get rid of him. He just does stupid stuff out there. Dumb fouls. If he's not making points, it's just, what are you doing out there? Just cardio, And he's too small. Enough of the small guard stuff, man. It's annoying. Get some height out there, because like you said, everything's changing. A lot of these teams are a lot taller. Denver Nuggets, they're tall. You know, the Spurs, they got a bunch of tall dudes out there. They ain't short. So what's the point of keep getting these small guards?
You got to think about it. OKC, the best team in the West, debatably in the league, right? They have 2 centers in
Yep.
their starting lineup. So
Yep.
we have to have stretch players that we need to have tall players that are able to shoot the ball, that are somewhat able to have some control, like some decent ball control. Because we have Chet, we have Jokic, we have Victor Wembanyama. Like we got a lot of players that are tall now that are able to do things that the forwards and the guards can do. When we go up to those teams, we don't stand a chance. We got to look at the fact we got blown out by the Spurs, no Victor Wembanyama. If he's there,
Yep.
it's bad. That's a bad day. It's a bad day for us. So we have to look at these things and be like, we're not where we need to be at. And it's not just Reggie and us here saying that right now. So many different people in sports media are really saying the same thing, but it's a weird fan base that pushes this narrative. They just look at the numbers. They say, "Oh, well, the numbers look good and our record looks good, so we're obviously a good team." It's not like that at all. And in the playoffs, we don't have a playoff roster. I personally think we need to get a third guy, young, kind of superstarish guy. Maybe he's not a superstar right now, but we got to get somebody that can play alongside Luka, that can be off ball, or someone that can kind of balance out the ball control, because Luka can't be our primary ball handler. Because our offense is based on him shooting, but he can't shoot consistently. So there's a problem with that. Our offense, you can't base an offense around Luka. He can never be your number one option.
Yeah. I got to get up out of here, fellas. Good call. Appreciate y'all boys. So yeah, shout out to Anubis and Ty. Appreciate y'all. Jay Dixon, you said I made that same comment that Connect should be playing. Dude was lighting defenders up from 3 last year. Plus, he's more athletic than Reaves. Exactly. And he's younger. He's more athletic. He can shoot better. Yeah, he should. Like I said, put LeBron at the 1, put Connect at the 2. You know, put Luka's fat ass at the 3, and then, you know, Rui and DA or something, or Vando and DA, you know. JJ he just playing games, man. He's just playing games, bro. There's so many different lineups we could do. Like I said, you know, we have a decent team if it was utilized in the right way. You know, but we're not utilizing it in the right way. So that's why we look the way we look against the good teams. But it is what it is, folks. That's really all I got on this one. Shout out to everybody that tuned in. I will catch you guys on the next one. This was another installment of The Locker Room. Peace.